Hey everybody, it's Karen, and it is my day 5 of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. Um, I'm going to try to do a little bit better with my videos. I've been very tired and very rushed, and I haven't been doing a very good job of starting this out with a good introduction. I'm clearly not doing that again tonight, but the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge was started by Kevin Cross, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it's basically you pledge to yourself that for the next 100 days, no matter what happens or how busy you are, what's going on in your personal life, you will devote at least 30 minutes a day to your passion project, in this case, comics. And you can do more if you want, but you have to do at least 30 minutes a day, and you don't have to document it. You can do it privately, but it helps if you document your process somewhere like YouTube or a blog or Facebook or Google Plus pages or whatever. So I'm doing it on Facebook. No, excuse me. I'm doing it on YouTube, which is where we are today. Well, virtually. Well, not yet. I mean, it will be when I upload this, but and so today I didn't do any drawing. I'm still working on my story, the comic that I've decided to do this project with. It's an idea that I've had kicking around for a while. I have lots of ideas, and I am not very precious about this one, so I thought it would be a good one to start with because I am still trying to figure out how to draw comics. I've done all kinds of illustration, and I've always wanted to do comics, but I never thought that I would be good enough at sequential art. So I kept putting it off, and I realized that I won't get good enough to do it if I don't do it. If I don't practice sequential art, then I won't, and tell storytelling in a comics medium, then I won't get better at it. So here it is. I am going to do this comic come hell or high water. Although I don't expect to finish it in 100 days. And here's why. So when I first thought about this concept and I was so motivated by everybody else, I thought that, well, I could probably just do like an issue length. My idea could work as kind of like the monster of the week. So each quote unquote issue would have a storyline that was resolved, and then the main character could go on to the next issue with a new story arc. And that's fine, and that's what I still want to do. But so I thought, well, I'll keep it simple, and I will do about 22 or 24 pages at the maximum for the first issue. And I had already written the outline of the first act in notes and all over the place. So I was trying to coordinate them, and I realized, okay, well, I'm not writing a novel here, I'm writing a comic book, so I should probably try to figure out how this is going to work as an outline with the pages in mind. So here are the notes I wrote today while I was at the pool with my son. So I was going, this, I'm going to explain all this jumble to you. This may or may not be interesting to you. In my mind, I was going to work with the 3-act structure, classic story, script, structure. And I wanted to go to 24 pages, so I thought, well, the first 25% of the story then would be about 6 pages. Then the second act, which I've split into 2 here, so Act 2A, Act 2B, I would be about 12 pages total, because 6 here and 6 there, with the midpoint being a very dramatic moment. Act 1 ends at the first plot point, or plot point 1. Then the second act ends at plot point 2. And then you have the final act, which I would do another 6 pages. I thought, great, that, I can do that. And if you've been looking at my scrawling scribbles here while I've been talking, you'll see that that is not what happened. So when I first started, I thought, I'll zoom in here. I just took a photo of my my notebook. So I thought, okay, well, I want to definitely, this is, I guess I'll have to tell you about this as we go. I'm not being secretive about this. I don't care if there are spoilers. I mean, I'm not worried about it if This is purely an exercise in process for me, and I hope that you guys will be. I mean, I'm hoping that people will enjoy the finished product, but I'm really hoping other people will enjoy the process of getting to the finished product. And so, I, um, and I'm probably just going to put it up online. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It might be god awful. It might be great. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm going to share everything as I go. Total uh, transparency. So the very first page, when you open up the comic book, you've got your first page there. You've got your inside cover and then your first page. So I was thinking, okay, establishing shot. I want to set the scene. My main character is a private investigator, and I'm very much making this a PI book. I'm going for tropes and the fun of the PI detective story in my mind, of the things that I like about it. So we have the establishing shot, probably of the city. Then we zoom down into the stakeout. I can see this in my head as I'm writing it, right? So and I know this was going to happen. So I thought, okay, well, how much room do I need on a page? So, you would zoom in on the stakeout, the car waiting there. You see the main character. He's observing with a camera. I didn't write that down, but he's got his camera out. He's either recording or taking photos of the picture window of the restaurant across the street. And then the second here is the close up. What did I say? Okay, so the close up of the old man and his girlfriend. So he's being paid to spy on, and he's not old, he's probably in his 60s. So 50s, 60s. I don't know why I said old man. He's basically a very rich and powerful man. Again, I'm not going for originality here. This is all cliche. So, and they're eating dinner. He's starting to get good shots. He's anticipating wrapping this up with maybe a little bit of interior dialogue or whatever, and wrapping up his job because he needs the money, whatever, he's down on his luck. And then a hand blocks the camera and grabs it from him. So that's the end of that. That is the end of page 2, which is, so if this was the book here, this was the left-hand side. So then page 3 is the right-hand side. I think this is right. Let me check this comic book that I have sitting here. I'm used to writing more novels. Yeah, so there's page 1, page 2. Yeah. Okay, so then page 3. So there's some goons outside, some bodyguard goons. They take the camera. Gregor, the main character, he gets out of the car and tries to reason with them. Okay, so then I guess I was trying to think, I don't want to have to have lots of tiny little, I want some nice big, 4 to 6 panels each page. So I want to leave myself room. So already I'm realizing, oh boy, I've only got 3 pages to wrap the whole first act up. This is not happening. Okay, so then you do the page turn and the fight has ensued. So I have a whole page for a fight scene. And then he won't go down, so they shoot him. These are not good guys. They check to see if he's breathing. He collapses. They check to see if he's breathing. He's not. They smash his camera, toss it on him. He's seemingly dead. They leave, right? Okay, so that would be the end, the page turn. So, oh my gosh, what happened? So then he's dead, right? Oh, that sucks. Okay, so then you turn the page and time has passed. He wakes up in pain. He wearily takes his camera and he drives back to his office. So, oh my God, he's not dead. What happened? Ooh. He goes to his office, and originally I had the client waiting, but I realized that wasn't going to happen. So he's in his office. He pours himself a drink. Now, I mean, I could skip through a lot of this, but I like moody character development stuff. So I was thinking, okay, so he pours himself his drink. He pops his painkillers. This is not, I don't want him to be in shock. That you're realizing as the reader, oh boy, what, he's really cool and nonchalant about this. I mean, yeah, he looks like hell and he's hurt, but this is pretty status quo for this guy. What the heck? And then his client bursts in. Okay, so then that is the surprise at the end of page 7. So you turn the page. What the heck? It's the wife of the guy he was surveilling. She berates him about not doing his job. She gives him the ultimatum, and she leaves, where he lays wearily down on his couch. And when he does that, then the company liaison that he has, it's another client. she de-lurks from the hiding, like from the shadows or from the other room, and expresses concern for him, asks, why isn't he working for the company that she does? This is an old conversation between the two of them. He doesn't want to rehash it. Why are you here? She has a job for him. And so then I left. So at the end of this one, when she comes in, why don't you? I'm ending the page on a question. So the reader wants to know the answer, just like she does. So you turn the page to get the answer. This is I don't know if this is going to work, but I think this is how I would want to do it as a reader. I want to see. So he doesn't want to rehash it. Why is she here? She has a job for him. There's a new anomaly. I'm not sure how I'm going to say this, that he has to investigate. She tells him it's a rush job and leaves the folder on his desk. So there will be conversation between them. He lays there for a while and then he gets up and goes to the desk. Again, this is where he's mulling over everything that's just happened, or, he's in pain. I want him to look like absolute hell. He's just been shot a number of times. And so then he reads the files. He hates the gig, but he looks at a photo of a girl named Marta to remind himself why he has to do this work. He pours himself another drink. He looks out over the city toward the power plant across the river. He's resolved and resigned. And that is the end of Act 1. So he is now on his course that he must stay on through the end of this book. He has to solve this case. He has to do what this is. And it ends with his personal, a sequel. I guess they call it novel writing, a sequel. It's where if I was in his head, I'd be, he's made his choice. What is he going to do now? How does he feel about what just happened? And what is he going to do now? So here it is. This is he's reflecting upon what happened and and he's made his choice. He's going to take the case, and he's going to take it because of the girl Marta. He always has to take the case because of Marta. So, and I won't say who Marta is because we will let that unfold later. So that, again, I don't know. So this whole thing then ended up being 13 pages long. So I was going to originally do it in 6, but you can see with all this information to get to the first plot point, there's no way I could have done it and have it be have the character development and action that I wanted to do in 6 pages. So it's actually 13 pages if you count the first inside page. So then I didn't, I did, but so it's 13 pages, but so really it's 12 pages. So to make it even, the page count, I'm probably then 6 pages became 13 or really 12. So if I consider it 12 pages of story, 12 interior pages for Act 1, or 12 or 13 interior pages for Act 1, that becomes 24 interior pages for all of Act 2. If you remember, here's Act 2. And then 12 more pages for the end of Act 3. And I mean, these are rough estimates, or something for me to shoot for so I can have the feel of the build of the story. So I know that I only have about 12 pages to get to the midpoint of the story, 12 pages to rise to the climactic battle. And again, like I said, I've never really plotted out my stories based on, I always plot it out with percentages. I know that about 25% in, if you're working with, typical story structure, that's where the first act ends, with your first plot point in which the hero is committed on a course of he has to solve the problem or the conflict, or before his life will ever become normal again, or whatever. I don't. I'm running out of gas. But anyway, I don't know. I thought it was really fascinating how I had these assumptions that I could just do this in 22 pages, but then the story that I was thinking of in my head, and maybe it's because I write longer. I've never done comics before, but it was a lot longer than just 22 pages. So it's actually a graphic novel length. So now, yeah, I'm definitely not going to finish this in the first 100 days. And I don't think I can break this up into I guess maybe at the midpoint, depending on how I work this, because I know how it, like, I know vaguely how it's going to end, and I know vaguely what, I really got a lot of more note writing to do here in the middle and at the end, but I suppose depending on what I do, I could split it into 2 issues. Or two, no, because that would only be 12, 24. Oh, no, it would be. So I guess I could do Act 1 in the first half of Act 2 and then leave it on the big cliffhanger at the midpoint. And then I could split the, well, see now, that would work. It just depends on how I write it. So maybe I break it up into 2 issues that then would be collected into a graphic novel someday, maybe. I don't know. This is a huge experiment for me. I expect it to be very rough at the beginning, and I expect to get better by the end. But I'm looking forward to it. This was actually really exciting today for me, having like made these discoveries. Maybe it's like old hat to all you guys, but for me, it was like, oh, like doing it this way and having already outlined it and having a general idea. I mean, not like just having a general outline, like I knew what happened, but then trying to like pace it out with panels in mind and stuff instead of just like writing a novel where everything is open, or a prose thing where everything is open. You don't have any page limits or page constraints or panel constraints or yeah, if you want to make it like a traditional size book, 22, 24 pages or 48-page graphic novel, then you can't just keep it. If it was like a web comic and I didn't care about print, it could be as long or as little as I needed it to be, right? But so anyway, that's what I did today. I don't know what my plan for tomorrow is. I've got so much stuff I have to get done. I'm going to continue to write. I don't know if I'll have anything interesting to show you with that, or if I'm going to do another character sketch because I'm too tired to do anything else. So, I hope that this was interesting to you guys, and I'm going to sign off, and I will see you all tomorrow. So, if I can find my mouse on my second screen, there we go, and I will stop recording. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow.